Good morning, all of you. Now let us go on to our next topic. So far we have been discussing the integrated rate equation for a second order reaction, right? So the integrated rate equation for a second order reaction, that is K2 is equal to 1 by A minus B into T into ln B into A minus X divided by A into B minus X, isn't it? So this is the integrated rate expression for a second order reaction. Okay, so here you can see two terms, that is A and B. So in this equation, A is greater than B. Okay, suppose if B is greater than A, then what happens to this equation? If B is greater than A, then K2 is equal to 1 by, you can write this equation in the just reverse order. Okay, in the reverse order, that is 1 by B minus A into T. Okay, here B is greater than A. So 1 by B minus A into T into ln. See here, instead of B, you can put A, and instead of A, you can put B. Okay, so ln A into B minus X divided by B into A minus X. Okay, so this is also another equation, integrated rate expression for a second order reaction provided B is greater than A. Okay, so this is also another equation. So this is equation number 1 and equation number 2. Then again consider the first equation. I am writing it once more. K2 is equal to K2 is equal to 1 by A minus B into T ln B into A minus X divided by A into B minus X. Okay, then you can cross multiply this T. That is, you can write this equation or rearrange this equation in this form, K2T. Okay, so I am writing the equation 1 like this. Equation 1, K2T is equal to 1 by A minus B into ln B into A minus X divided by A into B minus X. Okay, K2T is equal to this much. See here, can you see any resemblances with any equation you had studied in your mathematics? See, this equation, again I can write this like this: 1 by A minus B into ln B into A minus X divided by A into B minus X is equal to KT. Okay, so this equation, it is almost similar to y is equal to mx, isn't it? Y is equal to mx. What is this y is equal to mx? Y is equal to mx, it is an equation for a straight line. Y is equal to mx, it is an equation for a straight line passing through the origin, isn't it? Passing through the origin. Equation for a straight line passing through the origin. So this is an equation for a straight line. And also here, what is y? Then you have to write what is x, what is y, and what is m. What is m? M, it is the slope of the line, isn't it? Slope of the straight line. So here, y, what is x? See here, mx, isn't it? So here, m is, this is an equation for a straight line, so you can put it as K2. So here, m is equal to the slope of this equation, that is equal to K2. Okay, so m corresponds to K2, and what about x? X corresponds to T. X corresponds to T, and what about y? Y corresponds to this particular term. Okay, so y is equal to 1 by A minus B into ln B into A minus X divided by A into B minus X. Okay, so this is an equation for a straight line passing through the origin. So if we are plotting a graph with t along the x-axis and this particular term along the y-axis, we will be having a slope K2. Okay, and also the slope of that particular reaction will be equal to the rate constant K2. Okay, so if we are plotting a graph with t along the x-axis and this particular term along the y-axis, that is, see, I am drawing a graph with t along the x-axis and this particular term, that is 1 by A minus B ln B into A minus X divided by A into B minus X. Okay, b into a minus x divided by a into b minus x along the y-axis, then the equation will be the line will be passing through the origin. So this will be the equation for a straight line, and this gives the slope. Slope is equal to k2, or m is equal to k2. Okay, this is how you can plot the graph or rearrange that equation, and you can draw the graph with x and y axis. Okay. Then the next is we can go through the equation, integrated rate expression for a third order reaction. Okay, hope up to this you are clear. Integrated rate equation for a third order reaction. For a third order reaction. See, for a third order reaction, normally we will be writing it as 3A giving products, and also again as the same derivation as in the two previous cases, isn't it? So here at time t is equal to 0, at the start of the reaction, let the concentration of A, let it be A moles per liter, and the concentration of X is equal to 0. Then after a time t, the concentration X moles dissociated, so the remaining will be A minus X moles per liter. Here it becomes X. Okay. Then you have to write the rate expression. So here rate is equal to dx by dt. Dx by dt is equal to K3 into concentration of A, the whole cube, isn't it? A into A raised to 3. So again dx by dt is equal to K3 into what about concentration of A after time t? It is A minus X. So K3 into A minus X, the whole cube. Then what is the next step? Rearranging this particular equation. Rearranging dx divided by A minus X, the whole cube, that is equal to K3 into dt. Then next step, integrating the above equation. Integrating the above equation, integral dx divided by A minus X, the whole cube, that is equal to K3 into integral dt. Then again, just as in the previous case, integral of x raised to n, that is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So here it is 1 by A minus X, the whole cube, isn't it? 1 by A minus X, the whole cube, that is we can write it as A minus X, the whole raised to minus 3. So on integrating A minus X, the whole raised to minus 3, we can write it as A minus X, the whole raised to minus 3 plus 1. Just follow this formula, divided by minus 3 plus 1, that is equal to A minus X, the whole raised to minus 2 divided by minus 2, that is equal to this A minus X raised to minus 2 means 1 by A minus X, the whole square, divided by minus 2, that is minus 1 by 2 into A minus X, the whole square. Okay. Then again 1 minus X is there, so the minus of this term. Okay, so the value becomes a positive quantity. So 1 by 2 into A minus X, the whole square. Okay, at the last half you have to integrate this minus X also, so the a minus sign will also be coming. So the integral of A minus X, the whole cube, A minus X, the whole raised to minus 3 will be 1 by 2 into A minus X, the whole square. Okay, hope you are clear with this derivation. Then you have to substitute in this equation. Then so this becomes integral dx divided by A minus X, the whole square, that will be equal to 1 by 2 into A minus X, the whole square, isn't it? That is equal to K3 into integral of dt is t plus a constant of integration. Since we are not putting any limits, you have to keep this constant of integration. Okay, where I is the constant of integration. Then what is the next step? You have to find out the value of I. For that you have to put, when t is equal to 0, what about the value of x? X is equal to 0, isn't it? That we had already written. When t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Then again, so substituting this value in this equation, let it be equation number 1, equation number 2. So substitute 2 in 1, Substitute 2 in 1. Therefore, this becomes 1 by 2 into a minus x. X is 0. So 1 by 2a square, isn't it? 1 by 2a square, that is equal to k3 into t. That term becomes 0. So 0 plus I. Therefore, we got the value of I as 1. I is equal to 1 by 2a square. Let it be equation number 3. Okay, then you have to substitute this equation 3 in 1. Substitute 3 in equation 1. Okay, so 1 by 2 into a minus x the whole square, that is equal to k3 into t plus 1 by 2a square. Therefore, k3t is equal to 1 by 2 into a minus x the whole square minus, this will be going to the left side, minus 1 by 2a square. Okay. Therefore, again k3 is equal to 1 by t into 1 by, you can take 2 also common. So 1 by 2t into 1 by a minus x the whole square minus 1 by a square. This is simple mathematics. You can then, the next step is you have to do the LCM also. Then k3 is equal to 1 by 2t into 1 by a minus x the whole square minus 1 by a square. Okay, up to this you have got k3 is equal to 1 by 2t into 1 by a minus x the whole square minus 1 by a square. Then take the LCMs of this term, that is equal to 1 by 2t into, here LCM becomes a square into a minus x the whole square. Then 1 by a minus x square got cancelled, it becomes a square minus then a minus x the whole square. Okay, then you have to expand these terms, 1 by 2t into a square minus expansion of a minus x the whole square, that is a minus b the whole square, that is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay, so a square minus 2ax plus x square the whole divided by a square into a minus x the whole square, that is equal to 1 by 2t into a square minus a square got cancelled, then minus of minus 2ax, it becomes plus 2ax, then minus x square. So 2ax minus x square divided by a square into a minus x the whole square. Okay, so that is equal to, again you can take one x term outside, that is 1 by 2t into x into 2a minus x divided by a square into a minus x the whole square. Okay, so this is the equation for a third order reaction. Okay, so this is the integrated rate expression for a third order reaction. Integrated rate expression for a third order reaction. You have to study this equation also. So these three derivations are very, very important. Then you can go through the next rate expression, that is for a zero order reaction. It is just a simple derivation for a zero order reaction. So for a zero order reaction, see the rate constant, we can write it as rate is equal to dx by dt, that is equal to k0. Okay, k0 represents the rate constant of a zero order reaction. Then again the next step is integrating this equation. So on integrating dx, integral of dx, that is equal to, you can cross multiply, that is equal to k0 into integral dt, just as in the previous derivation. So integral of dx is x, that is equal to k0 into integral of dt is t plus constant of integration I. Okay, no doubts here. I think there will not be having any doubts for you here. So x is equal to k0 t plus I. Then what is the next step? You have to find out the constant of integration I, isn't it? So for that you have to put, when t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So what happens? T is equal to 0 means this term got cancelled, x is equal to 0. So the value of I will be equal to 0. Okay, substituting in the above equation, isn't it? These two terms will be going to 0. Then, so what happens here, this equation becomes, while substituting, this equation becomes x is equal to K0T, or K0, that is the rate constant for a zero order reaction. K0 is equal to x divided by T. So this is the integrated rate expression for a zero order reaction. Integrated rate expression for a zero order reaction. Okay, so it is just a simple derivation. You have to write the rate dx by dt is equal to K0, then integration. Here one more step is present, that is dx is equal to K0 into dt. Okay, so on integrating this equation, integral dx is equal to K0 into integral dt. Therefore x is equal to K0 t plus I. Then substitute for t is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0, I becomes 0. So x is equal to K0 t, or K0 is equal to x by t. So this is the integrated rate expression for a zero order reaction. Then one more derivation is there, that is the integrated rate equation for an nth order reaction. Okay. Integrated rate equation for an nth order reaction. So for an nth order reaction, we can write the general equation as Na giving products. Okay, so when time t is equal to 0, the concentration of A, let it be A moles per liter, and the products x, the concentration of the products, it will be equal to 0. When time t is equal to t, this becomes A minus x. These are all the same in all the above derivations. Okay, so then x will be equal to the concentration of products, let it be x moles per liter. Okay, then you have to write the rate expression, that is dx by dt is equal to, since it is an nth order reaction, we can represent the rate constant as Kn. Okay, Kn into concentration of A the whole raised to n. So dx by dt, that is equal to Kn into, what about the concentration of A at time t? It is A minus x the whole raised to n, isn't it? Then the next is rearranging this equation. Rearranging dx divided by A minus x the whole raised to n, that is equal to Kn into dt. Okay, then the next step, integrating dx, integral of dx divided by A minus x the whole raised to n, that is equal to Kn into integral of dt. Then you have to integrate this particular term, that is integral of 1 by A minus x the whole raised to n. Again x raised to n, integral of x raised to n is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Okay, so this is equal to A minus x the whole raised to minus n, that is equal to integral. So A minus x the whole raised to minus n plus 1 divided by minus n plus 1. Okay, that is equal to A minus x the whole raised to minus n plus 1 divided by minus n plus 1. So it becomes A minus x the whole raised to 1 minus n divided by 1 minus n, isn't it? Then again rearranging this equation, it becomes, while taking one negative sign outside, what happens, this will be coming to the, you have to keep this particular term in the denominator. Okay, so while this term coming to the denominator, it becomes 1 by A minus x the whole raised to n minus 1, isn't it? All the signs will be changing, so minus 1 plus n, isn't it? So it becomes 1 by A minus x the whole raised to n minus 1, then again divided by 1 minus n, isn't it? So 1 minus n, and again one negative sign will be there for after integrating this particular term. So one negative sign is there, so minus of 1 minus n, it becomes n minus 1. So in the denominator one more term, n minus 1. Okay, hope you are clear. See, 1 1 by a minus x the whole raised to n. We can write it as a minus x the whole raised to minus n. That is equal to a minus x raised to minus n plus 1 divided by minus n plus 1. That is equal to a minus x raised to 1 minus n divided by 1 minus n into minus 1 of this particular minus 1 minus n. Okay. So minus of a minus x2 up to this term. Okay. Then you have to take this term in the denominator. So while coming to the denominator, what happens? It becomes a minus x raised to minus of 1 minus n. That means it will be 1 by a minus x raised to n minus 1. Okay. Then minus of 1 minus n. That means it will while multiplying this minus term inside the brackets, what happens? Minus 1 then plus n. That means n minus 1. So 1 by, the answer is 1 by n minus 1 into a minus x the whole raised to n minus 1. Okay. Then you have to substitute this particular value. So that is equal to integral of this term becomes 1 by n minus 1 into a minus x raised to n minus 1. That is equal to kn into integral of dt is t plus I constant of integration. Okay. Then you have to substitute when t is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So substituting, and t is equal to 0 means this term got cancelled. Then again x is equal to 0 means it becomes 1 by n minus 1 into, here it becomes a raised to n minus 1, isn't it? A raised to n minus 1, that is equal to I. Then substitute equation 2 in equation 1. Substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So what happens? It becomes 1 by n minus 1 into a minus x the whole raised to n minus 1, that is equal to kn into t plus 1 by n minus 1 into a raised to n minus 1. Okay, then you have to rearrange this equation, that is knt is equal to 1 by n minus 1 into a minus x raised to n minus 1 minus 1 by n minus 1 into a raised to n minus 1. Then you can take the common terms outside, that is 1 by n minus 1 into 1 by a minus x raised to n minus 1 minus 1 by a raised to n minus 1. Okay, so the answer will be equal to this particular term. Then again, so this is knt, then you have to take the kn. So kn is equal to 1 by t into n minus 1 into 1 by a minus x raised to n minus 1 minus 1 by a raised to n minus 1. Okay, so this is the integrated rate expression for an nth order reaction. Okay. This is the integrated rate expression for an nth order reaction. So you have to study this reaction also. And so this integrated rate expression, see, we can calculate by substituting the values for n, except for first order reaction. For first order reaction, the rate expression is different. So for all other reactions, for all other different orders, we can substitute value for n, except for n is equal to 1. Okay. Except for n is equal to 1. Except for n is equal to 1. Okay. So these are the different integrated rate expressions. So you have to study all these derivations. Any one derivation will be asking for your examination. So it is a sure question. So please don't skip this portion. If you are studying one of the reaction, one of the derivation, you can study all others also. Okay. Next is the half-life of a reaction. Half-life. Half-life of a reaction you have studied in radioactivity, etc. So for a first order reaction, what do you mean by half-life? It is the time required for one half of the reactant, one half of the reaction to be completed. Time required for one half of the reaction to be completed, or in other words, we can say that it is the time required for the concentration of a reactant to decrease the half of its initial value. That is, for one if the concentration is 1, to change its initial concentration to half of its initial value, the time required, it is called as the half-life. So it is the time required for 1/2 of the reaction to be completed. Okay. Then the next is you have to go through the half-life for a first order reaction. This half-life, it is not mentioned in your syllabus, but I am just saying sometimes it might be asked since it's an important one. So that is why I am taking this also. Just 1 or 2 points are there. Okay, so for a first order reaction, what about the rate expression? K1 is equal to 1 by T into ln A divided by A minus X, isn't it? For a first order rate equation. So you have to substitute in this equation. That is when T is equal to T half. That means here we are representing the half-life period. So half-life period, it is usually denoted by T half. Okay, so when T is equal to T half, and what about the concentration of X? X is equal to A by 2. So that means the initial concentration, it is reduced to half of its original value. So we can substitute these terms. So K1 is equal to 1 by T half into ln A divided by A minus A by 2. Instead of X, you have to substitute A by 2. Okay, that is equal to 1 by T half into ln A divided by A minus A by 2 means it is A by 2. Okay, so that is equal to 1 by T half into ln, this A got cancelled, so it becomes ln 2. Okay, so again, what about ln 2? ln 2, 1 by T half into ln 2. So here we had started from K1, isn't it? So K1 is equal to 1 by T half into ln 2. That is equal to ln 2 is 0.693 by T half. Okay, ln 2 is log 2, 0.693 by T half. That is ln 2 multiplied with which number? 2.303. Okay, that gives 0.693. So 0.693 by T half. So the rate constant K1 is equal to 0.693 by T half, or from this equation we can write the formula for T half. T half is equal to 0.693 divided by K. Okay, so here this terms multiplied means log 2, ln 2 means 2.303 into log 2. Log 2 is 0.3010. That is how you will be getting this 0.693. Okay, so this is the rate expression for a half-life period. Okay, then there is a general equation for the half-life period, and the general expression that is T half is directly proportional to 1 by A raised to n minus 1. So for substituting n different orders or different values for n, you can calculate the T half. Okay, so T half is directly proportional to 1 by A raised to n minus 1. So then the next is we have to go through the another important topic, that is the determination of order of the reaction. So before that you have to complete the problems. So I will be doing the problems in the next video. So up to this you have to by heart all these derivations. So please do this video, and I will be uploading the next video along with this one. Okay, along with this video, some 6 or 7 problems are there, and I will be doing that problems. So on the and some similar problems are also there in your textbook. You have to work out that also as a homework. Okay, so thank you.